A certified letter had arrived that morning. Wedged between a home insurance renewal and the electric bill, Nancy tore the envelope open. Her hands stilled as she read the first line. Petition for appointment of guardian of the estate of Lily Reeves, a minor. The petitioners, Edward and Carol Reeves, alleged that the minor child was incapable of communicating her own interests. They further claimed that Nancy Reeves was unfit to manage the trust established for Lily's benefit. Below the allegations, their signatures sat in smooth blue ink, Edward and Carol, her own parents.
They used my name. They used my daughter's name. They're telling a court that Lily can't speak for herself.
Nancy lowered the paper, her knuckles white. The afternoon light felt harsh against the walls.
I've spent 11 years teaching her that her voice matters.
She pressed her palm flat against the counter, steadying her breath. This was not a letter. This was a declaration of war. The trust had been created 3 years ago by her great-aunt Margaret, who had adored Lily and wanted to protect her future. Margaret had understood something Edward and Carol never did, that Lily's deafness wasn't a limitation, but they treated it as one.
They always talked about her, as if she were invisible.
Edward had once said Lily would never manage money. Carol had nodded, adding that Nancy was being unrealistic about her daughter's future.
But Lily was sharper than they ever noticed. She'd been signing full sentences before she turned 3.
Every school award, every signed poem, every time Lily spoke without a voice, they dismissed it all.
Now they're telling a court she can't communicate.
This wasn't about what was best for Lily. It was about control, the same control they'd always demanded over every decision Nancy made.
I won't let them silence her. Not again.
She folded the petition, slipped it into her bag, and picked up her phone. There was a lawyer to call, and she knew exactly who. The call took less than 2 minutes. Angela Morrison, the attorney her friend had recommended, would see her that afternoon. By 3 o'clock, Nancy sat in Angela's office. The petition creased from being folded and unfolded a dozen times.
Your parents claim you are mismanaging the trust, and that Lily can't speak for herself. That's ridiculous. Lily communicates just fine. To a judge, we need proof. We have to demonstrate her competence clearly. Lily had been leaving no room for doubt her entire life. They just never looked. I want to bring in an interpreter. Someone to help Lily prepare a statement, if she's willing. She'll be willing. She's braver than any of us.
Angela handed over a business card. Susan Park, ASL interpreter. The name felt like a lifeline.
Nancy pocketed the card. The strategy was clear, but the fear was sharper than the hope.
The next morning, Nancy called Susan Park. She explained the situation briefly. A lawsuit, a trust, and a little girl who needed to speak without a voice. Susan arrived at the house before lunch. She had worked with Lily before, and knew her hands could say more than most people's words. They sat in the living room, the petition on the coffee table. Nancy signed as she spoke, a habit she'd never lost.
Lily, your grandparents want to take control of the trust money. They say you can't say what you want.
They never asked me.
Lily's hands rose, graceful and certain. Susan voiced her words.
I want to tell the judge the truth. They don't know me. 11 years old, and already so fierce.
We'll practice what you want to say. You'll sign, and I'll give you a voice.
Lily nodded. Her eyes held a quiet fire. The team was now 3, and the real preparation had begun. Nancy had stepped out for groceries. Within the hour, a sharp knock echoed through the house. Susan opened the door. Edward and Carol stood on the porch, dressed as if for a pleasant visit.
We just wanted to see our granddaughter. Is Lily home?
She's here, but I'll stay. She'll need me to interpret.
Lily appeared in the hallway. Her hands moved before they could speak.
I know you sued my mom. You said I can't talk.
Sweetheart, we only want what's best for you. The money should be protected.
We love you, Lily. This is all a big misunderstanding.
They never visited before the money. Now they're here with smiles.
Carol left a letter. They barely stayed 5 minutes. The note promised love, but its weight was pure manipulation. Nancy returned, grocery bags in hand. The letter on the table told a story before anyone spoke.
Edward and Carol came by. They tried to talk to Lily. I stayed the whole time.
They came while I was out. They've crossed every line.
She snatched her phone. Punching in Edward's number before reason could stop her.
You came to my house. You tried to manipulate my daughter.
We just wanted to visit. You are overreacting, Nancy. This is family.
Family doesn't sue behind your back. No more visits. No contact until court.
She ended the call and sat heavily. The room felt smaller, but her resolve had hardened like concrete. That evening, practice took on a new edge. Lily's signs became sharper, her emotions less guarded.
She's not afraid. She's ready to tell them who she really is.
That night, after Lily was asleep, Nancy pulled out a box of old financial records. Angela had asked for proof of her financial responsibility. Her fingers paused on a faded bank statement from 5 years earlier. The statement listed Edward and Carol as trustees for Lily's education account. Withdrawal, $15,000. Balance, 0.
They drained her college fund. The same people accusing me of mismanagement.
She called Angela Morrison immediately, her voice trembling with fury. By morning, Nancy sat in Angela's office. The statement spread on the desk between them.
This is devastating for their case. It shows a pattern of taking Lily's money while claiming to protect it. Can we use it in court? If we handle it right, it will destroy their credibility. The timing is everything. A piece of paper that could end the war before it fully began.
With the bank statement secured, Nancy focused fully on Lily's statement. The court date was 6 days away.
My mom signs to me every morning. She tells me I am strong. My grandparents never sign. They just point.
Nancy pressed her lips together. Every signed word was a truth her parents had refused to see.
They only wanted money. They never wanted me.
When Lily's hands fell still, Nancy knelt and pulled her into a tight embrace.
You are so brave. I am so proud of you, Lily.
I love you, Mom. Lily, when you sign like that, the whole courtroom will listen. You'll be the strongest person there.
Nancy felt the weight of the bank statement in her bag. Heavier was the trust Lily had just shown her the night before the hearing. She looked at Lily's calm face and felt the fear slip away. Earlier that afternoon, before the quiet with Lily, Nancy had sat across from Mr. Hart in a sterile conference room.
Miss Reeves, you consider yourself a competent mother, despite your daughter's disability.
The word despite landed like a slap.
You've managed a trust for a minor who can't verbalize her needs. Isn't that a risk?
She communicates more clearly than most adults I know. I am her voice only when she chooses.
Your own parents don't agree. They say you are unfit. Are they liars?
They've twisted everything. But the bank statement is my answer.
When the deposition ended, Angela put a hand on her shoulder.
You held your ground. That's what will carry us tomorrow.
That night, as Nancy watched Lily sleep, the weight of the day lifted. Tomorrow, Lily would show them all. The courtroom was cold and silent as Mr. Hart rose to his feet. Judge Bennett nodded for him to begin.
Your Honor, this is a case about a vulnerable child who cannot speak for herself. A mother who has isolated her from those who love her.
Nancy sat at the defense table, her composure a thin layer of ice. Hart's words were designed to crack it.
Even her own parents, Edward and Carol Reeves, recognize the danger. They've stepped forward out of love.
Objection. Framing the child's competence as non-existent is prejudicial. Overruled. The petitioners have a right to lay out their concerns. Continue, Mr. Hart.
Nancy was called to the stand. In the gallery, Susan Park squeezed Lily's hand.
Miss Reeves, you are accused of financial incompetence. Have you ever sought advice from a certified planner?
I consult bank statements, not fortune tellers. I am as qualified as any guardian named by my great-aunt. Your Honor, the defense calls Lily Reeves to testify. She has prepared a statement to sign.
A murmur rippled through the gallery as Lily stood. Susan Park rose with her, a steady presence at her side. They walked to the witness stand. Lily's small frame seemed to swallow the heavy air.
Objection. Your Honor, the child cannot communicate. This is a mockery of the court.
Your Honor, Mrs. Park is a certified ASL interpreter. Lily will sign. She will voice. The child has rights. I'll allow it. Proceed, Miss Reeves.
Lily sat in the stiff wooden chair, her hands folded in her lap. Susan positioned herself to be seen. She took a small breath, her shoulders rising once. The stillness in the room was absolute. Then Lily raised her hands. Every eye in the courtroom fixed on her fingers. Susan's voice would soon give her words sound, but in that moment, Lily was the only one speaking. The judge leaned forward. The entire courtroom held its breath.
My mom learned sign language for me. She comes to every school meeting. She tells me I am strong every day. My grandparents never learned to sign. They call me broken. But I am not broken. I am just deaf.
She never told me they used that word. She carried it alone.
Last year, my school had a concert. My mom came and signed every song so I could see the music. My grandparents didn't come. They never do, unless they want something.
A collective gasp moved through the gallery. Several pairs of eyes darted to Edward and Carol. Edward's face reddened. Carol gripped her purse tighter. Mr. Hart scribbled nothing on his notepad.
Order in the court. Continue, Miss Reeves.
Lily took another breath. Her hands resumed, steady and sure. Susan's voice followed without hesitation.
That's my daughter. That's the voice they tried to silence.
Once, my grandfather said I was defective because I couldn't hear. My grandmother told him to hush, not because he was wrong, but because someone might hear.
She's lying. I never said that.
Carol tried to pull him down, but he yanked his arm free. Mr. Hart's pen hovered, motionless.
Mr. Reeves, another outburst, and you'll be removed. This child has the floor.
Lily didn't flinch. Her hands waited, then resumed their careful sequence.
They think I can't understand, but I know when someone loves me. My mom shows up. They only showed up for court.
Nancy pressed a hand to her mouth, tears spilling over her fingers. Judge Bennett removed her glasses and rubbed the bridge of her nose. Carol wiped her eye, but her hand trembled. Edward stared at the floor.
The witness has finished her statement, Your Honor.
Angela rose, a faded document held steady. She stepped toward the bench.
Your Honor. We submit Exhibit B. A bank statement proving who really mismanaged Lily's money.
The judge scanned the paper. The withdrawal line, $15,000, was circled in red. Edward gripped the table. His throat worked without sound.
Objection. This is irrelevant and highly prejudicial. My clients deny any misconduct.
I'll decide relevance. Explain this account, Mr. Reeves.
It was a loan. We always meant to pay it back. Family helps family.
Did you document that loan? Did you tell Lily's guardian? Did you report it to the trust?
Silence. Carol's whisper was barely audible. Number. They hadn't told anyone.
These are the protectors. Your Honor. The ones who call a child broken while emptying her account.
The gavel came down like a thunderclap. This court is in recess for 15 minutes. Judge Bennett's tone offered no comfort. In the echoing hallway, Nancy pulled Lily close. Susan flanked them. Scanning the crowd, Edward pushed through, his face sagging. Lily, please, just give me a chance to apologize.
Mr. Reeves, you need to step back. Now,
You don't get to do this here. Not after everything you've done.
I just want to make it right. We never meant to hurt her.
You withdrew $15,000. You called her defective. What part of that wasn't meant to hurt?
Edward's shoulders slumped. He turned and walked away. Carol waiting silently at the corridor's end.
You were so brave. I love you more than words.
Lily signed back, I love you, Mom. Susan smiled, offering her a bottle of water. In that hallway, they were already victorious. The courtroom settled back into its heavy silence, the air thick with anticipation.
I have heard enough to reach a decision. I want to acknowledge the extraordinary testimony we saw here today. Miss Lily Reeves, your courage in addressing this court was remarkable. Your words carried more weight than any legal argument.
Nancy squeezed Lily's hand under the table. The judge's words were a balm, but the verdict still hung in the air.
Before I deliver my ruling, does any party have anything further to add?
Lily's hand lifted. She signed quickly to Susan, who stood without hesitation.
Your Honor, Lily wishes to address the court once more.
A ripple of surprise moved through the gallery. Edward's face tightened. Carol looked away.
Very well. I'll allow it. Miss Reeves, you may proceed.
Lily rose, her hands already forming the first words. The courtroom waited, breathless. Lily's hands lifted with the same quiet certainty they'd held all morning. Susan's voice came clear. I want my grandparents to visit me.
But only if they learn to respect me and my mom. I will set the rules.
The gasp that followed was sharp enough to cut the air. Several people in the gallery covered their mouths. Nancy's fingers pressed hard against her lips, but the tears spilled over them anyway. Carol's hand shook as she wiped her cheek. Edward just stared, his jaw slack.
Susan glanced at Lily, then added, "That's all she wanted to say, Your Honor."
Judge Bennett removed her glasses once more and gave a slow nod. Her eyes glistened.
She outclassed every adult in this room.
The silence that hung in the courtroom was not empty. It was thick with the weight of a child's grace. Edward and Carol sat frozen, their petition crumbling into something smaller than regret.
This court has seen enough. The petition for guardianship of the estate is hereby denied, Edward and Carol Reeves. You came here claiming to protect a child, yet the evidence reveals hypocrisy and financial misconduct.
The judge held up the bank statement.
This $15,000 withdrawal from the child's education account raises serious questions. I am flagging it for the district attorney's review.
Carol's face went white. Edward's mouth opened, but no sound came.
Miss Lily Reeves, you are the most articulate witness this court has seen in years. Your voice is clear, and it will be respected.
Nancy's tears fell freely now, but she made no move to wipe them. The gavel struck once. The sound echoed like a full stop.
The trust remains with Nancy Reeves, where it belongs. This court is adjourned.
Edward and Carol hung their heads and shuffled toward the door, their case as empty as the account they drained. The courtroom began to empty, but Nancy was already on her feet, weaving through the bench to reach her daughter.
I am so proud of you. You were the strongest person in this room.
Lily says, "We did it, Mom, together."
She was never the broken one. They were.
Angela tucked the victory papers into her briefcase and exchanged a long, relieved nod with Susan.
You changed the way this court thinks, Lily. That kind of courage doesn't fade.
Nancy, you raised an extraordinary young woman. The trust is safe. Go home and celebrate. The weight of the months lifted, and for the first time, she could breathe.
Lily turned to Susan and Angela, her hands signing a quiet, grateful thank you. Together, they walked out into the daylight, a mother and daughter who had silenced every doubt with a single, signed truth. The sun was warm on the courthouse steps, a light breeze carrying the scent of summer.
Nancy knelt to face her daughter and signed, "I love you. I am so proud, Lily."
Lily's moving hands replied with composure. You believed in me. That was all I needed.
She outclassed every adult in that building.
For the first time since the letter arrived, they smiled without a shadow of fear. Lily's calm expression held a wisdom that quieted the world around them. She was no longer a child to be spoken for. She was a voice that could not be ignored.
Her daughter was her own fiercest advocate. Nancy's heart finally rested.
They stood on the steps as equals, a mother and daughter who had fought and won together, hand in hand. They walked into the afternoon, the future no longer a fight but a gift. They hadn't walked far when Lily stopped and turned back toward the courthouse doors. Nancy understood. They climbed the stairs again, finding Judge Bennett still in the empty courtroom. Lily walked forward and lifted her hands. She didn't need an interpreter now. Her gratitude spoke for itself.
You are a remarkable young lady.
Judge Bennett removed her glasses, a genuine smile breaking through her formal composure.
It was my privilege to witness your courage today. Thank you, Miss Reeves.
Her daughter had just received the highest honor, respect from the bench.
Nancy placed a hand on Lily's shoulder, her heart so full it ached. The courtroom was empty now, but it still rang with the echo of Lily's signed justice. And in the silence, a mother knew. Her child had become the voice of their family. They emerged from the courthouse one last time, the afternoon sun painting gold across the stone steps, their fingers intertwined. A silent, fierce promise against every voice that had tried to silence them. The trust was safe, but the victory was far larger. Lily's voice had been heard, and the world had listened. On the sidewalk, they didn't rush. They walked slowly, savoring the weightlessness of a battle. Finally won. The courthouse stood behind them, silent and emptied of its power. It had become a place where a child's hands had rewritten the law. Nancy looked at her daughter, not as a child to be protected, but as a soul who had outgrown every doubt. They walked toward the ordinary afternoon, carrying nothing but each other, and a future they would now choose together. The sky above was wide and clean, a canvas for everything still to come, And in that moment, there was no petition, no courtroom, no betrayal. Only a mother and daughter walking into a future that belonged to them alone. The gavel had fallen. The trust was hers. But the truest judgment had come from the hands of an 11-year-old girl.